we've had a lot going on, including this video right here. This is cell phone video of a, quote, fireball streaking across the sky. Now, we got reports around 12:45. These are new images that we just got into our newsroom. So this is, I had the address.
Yes.
This is outside Lexington. This is Lexington near Columbia. So that's west of Columbia.
Highway 378,
yes.
Approaching Lexington. So you see it there, that streak, that, quote, fiery ball. This is dash cam video of the southbound lane, I-85. You see it right there on the left part of your screen, left side of your screen. And this is near the Columbia area, Two Notch Road. See it right there. That's cell phone video. Again, a fireball streaking across the sky, quote, fireball streaking across the sky. I want to read what we have. Let me refresh our web article.
This is an angle, by the way. This new photo is in the Macon area.
Macon
south
area.
Of Atlanta.
Okay.
Just letting our viewers know, since that's a new photo. But go ahead, Nick.
Here's what we have posted on our web article, and you can read much more there on our website, WCNC.com, and also on our mobile app. So multiple people and county agencies across North Carolina and South Carolina reported seeing a fiery ball falling from the sky Thursday afternoon. The first report started coming in around noon, with several people saying it appeared to be falling debris like a meteor or asteroid streaking across the sky. WCNC Charlotte's newsroom has received multiple calls about the fireball since it was spotted around 12:30. Multiple Reddit users reported seeing it on Interstate 485. It also reported seeing it in Atlanta, Greenville, and Charleston. Just to name a few, across the Southeast, we have been getting reports. We actually checked in with Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. He's at a conference right now, but he got a chance to check in with us and give us a perspective on what exactly we may be seeing. Let's listen into that interview from earlier on in the stream. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Brad, you are not at work, obviously, but of course, work calls. What are you hearing?
So I've actually seen the videos, guys, a couple of times, and I will just tell you this. Looking at the videos, the two things I notice, this is very low in the atmosphere. So I'm kind of curious if this was not some kind of piece of space debris, a rocket body, maybe a degrading satellite, or some other piece of space junk. For something to be that bright in the middle of the day, it most likely was burning up in the atmosphere. It was a pretty large chunk of whatever it was. I am curious, though. I haven't seen any reports of sounds, because if it's sounds, then you would have heard this lower in the atmosphere making a sonic boom of some kind. So I will be curious to see if this ends up being a piece of space junk or something else, because if it was a meteor, it would have to have been a really large meteor to be that bright in the middle of the day.
Brad, I guess my initial question is, have you come across anything like this? Is there anything you can compare this to?
I've seen like space debris break up like this and happen in the middle of the day. There was one meteor that happened in Russia, I think about 15 years ago now, that was very large, caused a sonic boom and actually caused destruction near the surface. And it looked like this, but it was going horizontally across the sky. This was going vertical, like straight down, which makes me think that this was probably something that either came back into orbit and then moved straight down and burned up. But I will be curious to see if we end up finding this as space debris. There's actually a guy I know, I'm actually going to try to contact him after I'm done with you, that tracks space debris to see if there was anything in the area that possibly could have accounted for this this piece of debris. But I tell you what, my phone was blowing up, guys, just like yours. Started getting all these messages. And when I started getting the messages, I thought when they said that happened around 12:25 or whatever, I was like, last night? I thought it was at nighttime, and they said, no, today, during the middle of the day, which shocked me because no one wouldn't see anything like this in the middle of the day. So this is pretty rare, and the fact that everybody saw it, too, is pretty rare.
I just want to point out, Brad, this would happen when you're away from work and at a conference.
Well, the irony is I'm at the American Meteorological Society, not the American Meteor Society. And we actually had an expert talk about meteor showers on Monday. So I was going to try to see if he was still here so I could talk to him. But I don't know if he's still here. But he was talking about some of the meteor showers this year. And we're not in one right now. So that would be just a rogue piece of meteor. But one of the things I remember from his presentation on Monday was most of the meteors that you see at night, the AK shooting stars, are literally the size of a grain of sand. And they happen way up in the atmosphere, way above where we are at the ground. This, to me, just on the videos alone, and again, sometimes perspective could be wrong, this looks much lower in the atmosphere. So whatever this was, it survived longer. It was able to get really, really bright. And probably because of that, there might be some meteorite or piece of debris that made it to the surface, which would be then called a meteorite.
Brad, you've been very generous with your time. Thank you. James, do you got anything before we get out of here?
No, but just in terms of transparent news gathering, if you do find any experts, Brad, please give us a holler.
Yes.
We will be here.
Well, yeah, I'm going to go ask around and see if I can get some information. I have a couple NASA contacts, like I said, that might be able to give us at least some possibly what it was, whether it was a meteor or a piece of space debris. You pretty much know because the orbits of the space debris are tracked pretty diligently. So if it was a piece of space debris, we should have an idea of what was in this general area that could have fallen, and that would give us some ideas. If that becomes not something that works out, then we can go start looking at radar data, because that's one thing I'm going to look at too, is the weather radar guys. If it was low enough in the atmosphere, it's possible that one of the local National Weather Service radars could have picked it up on the radar.
Brad, my friend, thank you for your time. Again, you can't get rid of us that easy, Brad.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, thank you for your time and giving us some context on this, Brad.
Yeah, I'll send you anything I know, guys. And yeah, anyone out there, I put it on my social media as well. If you have video, Ring camera, security footage, go check it right now, because it might give us more details and video that we can get. So go check those videos and see if you caught it on one of your security cameras.
Great point there. All right, that is Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich there. We will continue to get updates and check in with Brad throughout the day. Brad, again, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Great perspective from Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich there. Again, you see it right there. Quote, fireball streaking across the sky. Multiple counties, cities, states seeing this, quote, fireball, this streak across the sky this afternoon. We also got reports from Henry County. Henry County is in the metro Atlanta area of damage. And I just want to point out, there has been so far no correlation to what we're seeing to the damage. I just wanted to throw that out there, that we have reports of damage in Henry County, which is in metro Atlanta. But so far, it hasn't been confirmed if this is related to this, quote, fireball streak.
And to set magnitude expectations, the damage is relatively small.
Yes.
Of what we're seeing, if that were to verify. But I don't want, just to help people paint a mental picture of what the possibilities are, right? We talked earlier about how small this thing probably was as it burnt through the atmosphere. And if it made it to the ground, that would turn this meteor into a meteorite.
So this is a developing story. We continue to get images. We were talking about this during Brad's interview. And I have a rock star team in here who yes, that's the best way I could put it. You guys are rock stars, because we had maybe one piece of video, limited information, and throughout the afternoon, we've been able to try to update you guys in real time of what we had. So I want to thank everyone in here for that.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Let's get the radar.
We have some things on the radar.
We have some things on the radar.